Let's see if you can hear me now. Testing one, two, three. Let's go. And still says one waiting. Reboot. Let's see if you can hear me now. Testing one, two, three. Let's go. Okay, so obviously I can hear myself here on the live stream. Reboot. So obviously it's working. So let's get on with the show here, and hopefully some of you are going to join in here. Let me turn the this off here so I don't get an echo. Close that off, and we are back to where we started. Okay, so what are we going to do today? It's question and answer time, and so I will wait here another 5 minutes to see if any of you have questions. You can do that by simply asking me a question on the chat, and I'm going to put it up here just so I can see it. You guys won't see it, but I can see it. And so if you got a question, just ask the question by chat, or you can call me. You can call me at 805-320-0930, and I'll put you live with me here. No need to give your name or your picture or anything like that, but you can ask me a question live here on the show. So either 805-320-0930, or again, you can ask on the chat right there on the right side of the YouTube page. So let's give it another 4 minutes to see if there's any questions today. If not, then I'm going to do a presentation, and the presentation will be the Cook Islands itinerary, 11 nights on the Paul Gauguin. And it goes through the Society Islands of French Polynesia, and of course goes over to Atutaki and Rarotonga. So that'll be my presentation I will do after the question and answer here. But it doesn't look like we have any questions this morning. So we'll wait a few more minutes here. I can see everything here. Everything seems to be working correctly. Ah, goodness. It is Saturday, January 3rd. We are in 2026. Oh, my. I'm sort of excited about 2026. Like I say, I think this is going to be a good year. Good year for us in North America. I'm thinking that we're going to have just a lot of things happening that are very, very positive, including people that are going to go out there and say, let's start cruising some more. So I would assume it's going to just be a good year for cruising. I've taken a lot of people getting a hold of me over the last couple of months here. It seems like there's a lot of momentum moving forward and so forth. So I'm pretty excited about it. So anyhow, let's give it a couple more minutes here just to see if we have any questions at all here. And I'm going to see, I'm going to do that, and I'll do that when I'm ready to do that. Okay. So, anyhow, no questions on chat and no call-ins. So, anyhow, remember, on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I do questions and answers. I don't do a presentation on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I only do the presentation on Saturday. But you can get a hold of me at 9 o'clock Pacific time right here on the YouTube channel and ask questions. And, if nobody asks a question in the first 10 minutes, then I say, okay, I'm going to go eat breakfast. So you know the deal here. 9 o'clock Pacific time on Tuesdays and Thursdays, it's question and answers. And on Saturday, it's not only a question and answer time for the first 10 minutes to see if we get any calls or anything like that, but then I will do a presentation. Each presentation will be different. Today it will be the 11-night Cook Islands itinerary aboard the Paul Gauguin. So, you know what, what's going to go on here. Hopefully this is going to catch on. I know we just went through the holiday season, so I know things are a little, sparse, as we would say, with all the football games and the parades and Christmas and New Year's and everything else. But hopefully, again, things will settle down here over the coming weeks, and we'll get more people calling in and asking questions, and it'll be more exciting here to be able to answer those questions. You have to remember, when you ask a question, man, I got a cord right here. Let me just put it in front of me. When you ask a question, it may be a question that somebody else thought, oh man, I never thought about that. That's wonderful information. So when you ask a question, it goes out here on the YouTube channel, and everyone gets to glean from your question and my answer. So there's a good reason to ask questions, okay? It benefits a lot of people, so forth. Again, 805-320-0930, or you can send me your question by chat, okay? It doesn't look like we have anything going. So let's get on with this presentation. I'm going to change a couple of things here really quick. And let's move over to here and put up that. Okay, you guys should see a beautiful picture. Let me go to studio mode here. And I'm going to get rid of the YouTube chat and do that. And there we go. Okay, so let's get on with the presentation here. I'm going to hit record so I can put it up later and so forth. What you're looking at here is the lagoon of Atutaki. Yes, it's that stunning. And let me do one more thing here, just so I can see if anyone throws a chat up there. Okay, this is the lagoon of Atutaki. Over here, you're looking at One Foot Island right here. Yes, this was taken with a drone. And people are, you see how shallow the water is right here? The boats, when they come over here, have to go all the way around, and then they come in here and go in here. But this is One Foot Island, and the famous One Foot Island, where you can get your passport stamped for One Foot Island. But yes, it's that gorgeous. Look at that, just incredibly beautiful. Let's move forward. Now, these are in no particular order, but obviously we go to One Foot Island when I do my run over to Atutaki on the Paul Gauguin, and that'll be next November. November of this year, I will be back on this itinerary. Look at that. This is, again, One Foot Island. This is, if I had $1 for every time people take pictures of this palm tree, I'd be a very wealthy man. Very wealthy man. And this is the port of in Rarotonga. This is where the tenders go into right here. And I'm sitting out here on the ship taking a picture back towards the port here on Rarotonga. There I am. No, waving. No, this is obviously the Paul Gauguin sitting out there off the port here in Rarotonga. Just beautiful. Love it. But and let me go back here, just so you know, the ship here is free floating. It is not anchored. There's nothing to moor to. It is keeping position by GPS, and it does the same thing on Rarotonga. The boat keeps position by GPS, and it's just marvelous to see technology like this, and it's so cool. Okay, this is Murray Beach on the island of Rarotonga, and most people go to Murray Beach. It doesn't matter if you're land-based or you're on the ships or whatever, you go to Murray Beach. And not a lot of good snorkeling here, but it's a great place just to swim around and enjoy the water. The beach is beautiful. You can actually walk over to some of the motus here. And there's always along the beach here and everything else, tons of places to eat and things like that. There I am, me and my beautiful better half, and yes, she is my better half. And we're at Wigmore's Waterfall on the island of Rarotonga. It's accessible. There is no admission. You can actually drive, because usually we rent a car when we're on Rarotonga, and even though we come in just for the day on the ship and so forth. And you can drive right up to a little parking lot and walk up the trail up to Wigmore's Waterfall. A tip, make sure you have mosquito repellent. Let's see here. Let's move forward. And you see me, this is on my headers, of course, for my page. And this is taken from the lagoon of Taha. I am 13 miles away from Bora Bora over here in Mount Otumanu. But the ship, the Paul Gauguin, as it's leaving Motu Mahana and going through the lagoon of Taha, you see this view. And sometimes you are incredible sunsets and things like that. And in this case, just came out right. The rays were there and everything else. It was beautiful. One of my favorite pictures. This was taken on deck 8 on the Paul Gauguin, and no, deck 9. Deck 9, I'll bring that back. And we're going between Bora Bora and, I'm sorry, Rarotonga, and also heading towards Bora Bora. So again, a beautiful sunset, looking back towards Rarotonga and so forth. Just, the colors in the South Pacific are just so incredible. I love them. And this is again Bora Bora, taken from the Laguna Taha. Yes, that's a real rainbow, and 13 miles away from Mount Otumanu. Just beautiful. This is the inside the lagoon of Bora Bora, and the Paul Gauguin is sitting over here. And I'm sorry these pictures are a little small. I guess I can make them a little bit bigger, but I don't want to lose the resolution here. But the main thing here is look at the hues, the different colors of the water here in the lagoon of Bora Bora. Just beautiful. This is from the private Motu for the Paul Gauguin. The Paul Gauguin is sitting right here, and that's their private beach. And over here you can see there's a cooler, and inside the cooler there's water and soda and beer and things like that. Maybe a couple of bags of pretzels. There is no big bar or cafe over here. It's pretty basic. So remember that when you go over there, if you got some snacks you need, for whatever reason, bring them with you and so forth. The beacher brings you in here, but look at this. They're standing up here. They bring the toys over here and so forth. But a wonderful place to spend an hour or two while you're in Bora Bora and you're aboard the Paul Gauguin. Because remember, this is a private Motu for the passengers on board the Paul Gauguin. This is Papa here, and we are at the snorkeling location called right behind the Sofitel Motu. And these are some of my group here that go with me. And Papa is going to feed the eel here. By the way, Papa here, 68 years old, and he's still down there doing his thing and so forth. And he is just a wonderful man, just a wonderful man. Look at that. Beautiful coral, beautiful fish. This is aboard the Paul Gauguin. This is the beacher heading over here to Motu Mahana. Again, look at that. Just stunning. Just beautiful. You're in for a good day when you see this, and the weather's cooperating and everything else. Again, if you have a question, you can still call me there, 805-320-0930, live during the show. If you're watching this during a recording and things, obviously I'm not there on that phone number. So please only call that number live during the show. Or you can use the chat feature on YouTube and chat, and I'm looking there to see if anyone's chatting a question. I don't see any questions. Here we are at Motu Mahana, and just everyone's having a great time. This is where the barbecue is. Lots of shade here, lots of places and loungers and so forth. Over here would be the bar and so forth, but there's also the famous floating bar. But just, don't you want to be there right now? I know I do. And here's the Gauguins, and they're serenading as people come from the beachers coming into Motu Mahana. And of course, the Paul Gauguin is in the background there. This is taken at the Taha famous drift snorkel. And I took this picture here with a 50-50 dome. And look at the setting here. Beautiful fish, beautiful setting with all the trees. The coral's beautiful. This is a wonderful excursion. One of my favorite excursions, and it's my better half's famous. It's her most favorite of all the excursions in French Polynesia is the drift snorkel here on Taha. Here's the tender coming into, we are in Cook's Bay right here. The ship is in the background. This is the tender coming into the tender drop-off location in Cook's Bay, Moorea. Everything I'm showing you here is pictures I've taken. And again, I've been, this itinerary going out to the Cook Islands, I've done it at least, I don't know, half a dozen times. It's one of my favorite itineraries and so forth. So there's no order here, but just know Everything you're seeing is things that you would see on this particular itinerary. Again, I will be doing this itinerary again in November this year. Here's a cafe above in Opunupu Bay, and this is one of our favorite places. Zell and I love going there, getting a cup of coffee, a tea, or in my case, getting a Hainano beer, which is the locally made beer in French Polynesia. The beautiful Paul Gauguin's anchored there in the bay. Beautiful. Great camera opportunities here. And this is as we're leaving Moorea and heading back to Tahiti. Now, it's a stunning scene. It really is. Absolutely stunning. You think, wow, this is the South Pacific right here. The sad part is, you know you're heading back to Tahiti and you're soon going to be at the end of the cruise. So it's beautiful, but sad at the same time. At this particular point, I'm usually planning my next trip to paradise. This is Opunupu, I'm sorry, Mount Opunupu. Look at that. Just beautiful. This is in the early morning light. Here is where the docks are, and those sort of the marina and so forth. But I'm up early because I want to catch that early morning light. Again, we're back over to Motu Mohana. You can just see how stunning this is. I took this with my drone. And by the way, I have to say this every time because I'm always asked later, how can you do that? I'm licensed to fly my drone in French Polynesia. I carry a French license to be able to do this. So I'm very careful. Don't want to ruin anyone's privacy or anything like that. But it's wonderful when you're taking pictures like this. Look at that. Everyone's just plopping in the water. I can see the floating bar over here. This is taken at the Drift Snorkel again on Taha. And of course, the backdrop here is fabulous because you're looking at Bora Bora there, 13 miles away. Look at that, just beautiful. Quite the backdrop. And not only is it stunning under the water with all the beautiful fish and coral, but it's stunning above the water. Here's part of my group here a few years ago, just getting ready. They're heading out on the Drift Snorkel here. The nice thing about the Drift Snorkel, you don't have to do much. You just have to be able to direct yourself a little bit so you don't hit the coral or anything like that. But pretty much you just float there and direct yourself a little bit, but you don't need to be paddling or anything. But look at that water, just absolutely gorgeous and beautiful. This is me and my beautiful better half Zell, and we are up at the Belvedere on the island of Moorea. This is Cook's Bay. This is Opunupu Bay right here. And yes, I took that picture with my drone. Let's see here. Here we are in the bay, and the tender's going back to the Paul Gauguin. This is another drone shot there. Absolutely beautiful. Just a beautiful setting. Look at that. Don't look at the mountains and everything else. I know I said this before, but it's so true. Every time I go here, I keep on thinking King Kong is going to jump out from around one of those peaks. It's that stunning. And believe me, the first time I came and saw Moorea from the distance, I really thought King Kong was going to jump out. But just look at that, just stunning. This is taken at let's see, Nui Hiti Beach on the island of Wahine. That's part of my group there, and a little private beach there. This used to be one of the best resorts in all of French Polynesia until it was taken out about 25 years ago by a cyclone. But the beach is just absolutely beautiful and stunning. Just beautiful. Look at that. This is one of my favorite pictures here. This is taken on Bora Bora at the Sofitel area, behind the Sofitel Motu, where the good coral gardens are. And look at the expression on this girl's face. She is absolutely, you can't see it very well right here, but she actually has an octopus in her hand. And she's just going, wow. That's going to be a memory she's going to remember for a long time. Look at that. let me get rid of the phone number here. Let's see. Do that. Do that. Get rid of the chat again. Do that. And let me enlarge this a little bit. Oop, hang on. I can go up 1, 2, and large. There we go. Okay. So let me hang on a second. I'm going to put my YouTube chat up here. You can't see it now, but I can, just to see if anyone is sending me a question and so forth. This is taken, of course, on Bora Bora, Mount Opunupu there. And this is taken from the location where we do a barbecue, a group barbecue right here. That's one of the boats that we go on. We have 2 boats typically. And look at that. Is that not a picture opportunity there? You're not only you're going to eat a fine Polynesian barbecue lunch, but you get to play around with this type of backdrop. Just beautiful. And look at the flowers. Oh, so colorful here in French Polynesia. Just beautiful. Just beautiful. This is taken on the island of Wahine. And this is my group here. We're doing a drift snorkel. And Wahine is typically the first island when you're on the ship, and your first day. So you're still, some of you that took the red eyes and things like that are still like a little sleepy eye and things like that. So Wahine is a wonderful island to start out with. And this drift snorkel we do here is you don't do nothing other than plop in the water and let the current take you. And it's a very slow current. And the depth of the water here is typically 10 to 15 feet. You're not going to run into anything. So it's absolutely gorgeous and beautiful. And it's a wonderful way to start the process of snorkeling. If you've never snorkeled yet, this is a wonderful opportunity right here because you don't have to do anything other than lay there and enjoy the scenery. This is taken on Atutaki. And, excuse me. And at my vendor's beach, he has a private motu, and he's one of the few places in all of the lagoon of Atutaki that actually has a bathroom right here. So if you are there and you're with me in a group or things like that, on the island of Atutaki when we're having lunch, there is a bathroom. Mr. Crab here. This is taken again in Atutaki. Look at that. Look at those eyes right there and so forth. Beautiful. This is taken on Bora Bora during the excursion that we went on. And there's Papa again, 68 years old here. And he's letting everyone touch the rays and give him a little kiss for a camera opportunity there. I like the expressions on people's faces, like, whoa, what are they doing? It's so fun. Every time I go, I just look for expressions on people's faces. Here's Papa again, serenading us with a ukulele. He is quite the entertainer. Not only does he go down there, he is the patriarch of the family I use to take us out on the lagoon. And everyone that's ever gone on this excursion with me raves about it. They don't want to ever miss it if they go back. This is a fabulous excursion. And the family, which is typically 5 or 6 people, are involved when we do the excursion, between taking us out on the boats and preparing the barbecue and everything else. They're all, it's all family. So it's a family affair. And I love it. This is up on the bridge of the Paul Gauguin when we're inside the lagoon at Taha. Here's some people that went with me. Here's Bora Bora again, about 15 miles away from this location there. But one thing that's really sort of neat is I have all these relationships that I've developed over, several decades. And in this case, the captains, I usually know the captains. And I asked the captain, would it be okay if I bring some of the people with me up here to the bridge as we're going through the reef opening? He's not anchored here. We're under power again. And he always allows me to bring some of my group up here and enjoying the scenery there. It's pretty neat perspective. And we're on the ship. There's the front of the ship right there. And there's the famous church right there. And of course, Mount Opunupu, Otumanu here in the backdrop in Bora Bora. From this location, it's about 15, 16 miles away. Beautiful. We are on the island of we're on the island of Wahine, and we're coming into the tender drop-off location there. Look at that! Look at that water! Just a stunning day. The tender dropping us off and so forth. Beautiful. By the way, Wahine is one of those islands that if you like culture, this is wonderful old ruins here of the old temples and things like that. No big resorts here. The people are wonderful and tender and beautiful. It's an island that's often overlooked, but just a wonderful island. Here we are again during the drift snorkel on Wahine, and look at that. Do they look like they're having fun? This is on Wahine again, over at a nice snorkeling location here. In the backdrop here is Raiatea, and everyone's just enjoying it here. This is a wonderful area for snorkeling, and again, there's not that many great locations on Wahine for snorkeling, but this is definitely one of them. Look at that. Beautiful. This is on Wahine again, and we're just leaving Wahine, getting ready to head for Atutaki. And this is nicknamed Obama Island or Motu, because President Obama rented it for the day for his family. And so ever since then, the locals have called it Motu Obama. Here we are on Atutaki again. This is some of my group here and my vendor, and he's telling us the rules a little bit on how lunch is going to be served and everything else. And there's all sorts of things to drink here, including rum punch, wonderful rum punch. And of course, because Atutaki or the Cook Islands are aligned pretty much with New Zealand, the beer of choice while you're there is Foster's. Here we are again, just getting ready to leave and head toward One Foot Island. Again, we had 3 boats that year, hopping in there and so forth. This next one coming up in November next year, we'll have one of the new boats like this. He has another new boat that's a little bit bigger than this one, but brand new. He just had it made in New Zealand and brought to the Cook Islands. Here we are again, the group, and that's pretty much my whole group right there that year and so forth. And we're getting ready again to head towards One Foot Island. I don't see any questions on the chat. Remember, you can chat here on the YouTube, and I'm looking. I am watching it right now. And so if you have a chat, go ahead and just chat it, and I will see the question. Oh, we saw that picture before. It's just a little different angle. And this particular year, this was a couple of years ago, and there's my group there, and a nice size group. I don't like them to get any bigger than this because it loses its intimacy, so I usually try to hold off typically at no more than about 30 people in the group, and that way everyone has access to me. There I am in my beautiful better half. And by the way, with rare exception, I usually go on all these planned cruises. And the reason being is it separates me from a lot of different people that I go with a group of people. I'm there to answer their questions or to push them in the right direction if they don't know what to do. And that's one of the things I sort of pride myself on. With rare exception, as long as there's enough people going, Zell and I will go. This is taken in Cook's Bay here in no, we're in Opunupu Bay. No, this may be Cook's Bay. Cook's Bay, I think. And we're on Moorea. I love the clouds rolling in there through the peaks and everything else. It's just beautiful. And again, we're just leaving again the bay there and heading back towards Tahiti. This is the Intercontinental Resort on Tahiti. It is my favorite resort on Tahiti simply because it's the most Polynesian. That's not to take anything away from, you know, the Hilton or the Manava or the Pearl. They're all fine resorts. I personally like this particular resort primarily for two reasons. It's the most Polynesian feel, and it's within walking distance to the largest shopping center on the island of Tahiti. It takes me about 15-20 minutes to walk down to the shopping center and bring back some goodies while I'm sitting here at this resort. Again, we're on the bridge of the Paul Gauguin, just getting ready to leave Wahine in this case. Look at that, just beautiful. Sort of cool being up there when the ship's under power and you're watching this group of people work together like a fine oiled machine. Whoop. Should I show that? Nah, I won't do that. Let's close this down here. Okay, we are back to my Facebook page, just so you know. I do have a Facebook page for French Polynesia. There it is. It's Cruising French Polynesia, and you can find it. And over 1,000 members and so forth. And I do have another one, just so you know. I'll just tell you right here. Here it is right here. See, it's this one right here. And this is Jerry and Jell's Voyagers group. And this one here is a smaller group, but it's people that are signed up with me to go with me on another group cruise. And so they get invited to that group, or I invite you into that other group where I give a lot of detailed information about our travels. And so if you have a question or do more information there, I'll give just a lot of detail and so forth. So I give it to the people that are going with me on a future cruise. And so you just get the idea there. So it looks like we don't have any, I got to be careful here because I know there's some people that comes from over in Cruise Critic here or have access to a link. And so I don't want to market, okay? I want to be careful that I'm not marketing hard here or anything like that. But look at that. Just, I put all sorts of, every day I'm putting something new on here, Here's all my cruises I have coming up here over the next couple of years. And just more information. I put new pictures up every day. Of course, here's the question and answer time for today. Yesterday it was the Gauguins dancing on the deck. The one before, of course, was taken from Motu Mahana with a drone. But the point being here is, if you love seeing pictures of French Polynesia, you probably want to go to this page because I put all sorts of information up there. Well, we're going to call it a day, and let's wait a couple more minutes just to see if there's any more questions here. I don't see anything on the chat here, but you know what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go back over to live on the YouTube here, just so I can see here make sure I'm not missing anything, not missing any questions. Here we are live, so it says we are live, and let's see if there's anything on the chat over here. I doubt if it is. Nope, I'm seeing the same thing on my page as it is here. So let's turn that off. Go back over here. And, the other thing, too, people can communicate with me on this particular Facebook page, and they'll like some of the pictures I do. They can also go ask questions and so forth. And right here. So there's a lot of neat things to come over there, to get your French Polynesia fixed for the day. Anyhow, hopefully you enjoyed the little presentation of the 11-night Cook Islands itinerary on board the Paul Gauguin. And again, next time I'll be doing that itinerary is November of this year, November 21st of this year. And I'll be zipping over there and enjoying that. So if there's obviously no questions here, I'm going to call it a day, and I'm going to go eat my breakfast, okay? So y'all have a good weekend, the rest of the weekend. Remember, Tuesdays and Thursdays, 9 a.m. Pacific time, right here on the YouTube channel. I do a question and answer time, so you can ask me a question. And again, on Saturday, first 10 minutes, usually I set up for question and answer time. And then when the questions are no longer coming in, I start a presentation. Next Saturday, I'll do another presentation, but it will be typically on a different itinerary and so forth. So again, y'all have a wonderful rest of the weekend. I'll talk to you later.